Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices. Elliott wave count for the S&P 500 comes in a few different counts, but the main point is that the market is still going to move up until we get to the 2,800, which is a minor trading level 8 here. We call it a profit-taking number. Because it's normally the even number before the next whole number here. So we're pretty much tracking this little 5-wave structure up through here. While we're on the daily count here, we do have this count here, which is still in play, which is the intermediate wave 3 here, an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down through here. So from the B wave here, we have a smaller A, B, and C here, and from the C wave here, we have 5 waves in the C wave, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, ending roughly around the 2800 and then moving down from that point. The more positive count to the upside here as a more bullish count would have the S&P as a triangle pattern here with wave 3 here, an A wave, a B wave, a C wave, a D wave, and an E wave here for wave 4, then up for wave 1, back for wave 2, and moving up to wave 3 here. Now, whichever count occurs, we won't be missing out because the 2800 here will be the line in the sand. We're counting the 5-wave structure to here. So once we get our little pullback and correction across the 28 here, we'll know to be on the right side at the right time because we'll either have support or resistance at this point here. So as mentioned, we won't be missing anything, but there will be a couple of sessions where we need to be patient and wait for that. There's also the possibility that just while we're here as well, there's also the possibility that, a bit like the Nasdaq, we can have this up as wave 1 here, back for wave 2 here, then up for wave 3, 4, and 5, finishing here as well. Excuse me. So once again, it doesn't really matter. We're still going to be moving up to the 2800, and we just need to be a little bit patient once we get in there. So moving back to the more bullish or the bullish count going up to the 2800 here as wave B, but even the positive market will be like this too. So we've got wave 3 here, an A wave here, an A and a B, and 5 waves here for the C wave here. So this move up here is going according to plan here, and we're looking at this little trend here in terms of 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 moving up through to here. If I've made a mistake here, which I want to include here, because this wave 4 is a little bit small here, we can put this wave 3 and 4 to here as well, but it still takes us up to this particular point here. On the 1 hour chart, just drilling in here a little bit, this is this is just still getting over that flu, but the main point here is that we haven't made any mistakes and we're on track to that 2800, and we're looking at wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 ABC for 4 here, and then moving up here for wave 5. Now, as I mentioned here, the mistake that I could have made within this little structure here, because this wave 4 is a little bit small, wave 3 is okay in length compared to wave 1, but it would be, just for perspective terms, it looks better if this was the case coming into this area here as that larger wave 4 here. So, like I said, not that it makes much difference. Let's just go to the tick chart, because our main point here, this trend here, for day traders to finish off what they're doing here. So we can have wave 3 in green or wave 3 here, wave 4 and wave 4 here in this degree of structure. We've had our A wave, our B wave, and our C wave here. So a little bit of attention is required here in terms of wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 for wave 1 and 2 here. So from 2 we're going up to 3 here, and we're looking for 5 waves, so you can easily count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then we're going up for wave 5 here. So for wave 5 we've got wave 1 and 2, and then there'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in here for the third wave, the fourth wave, and the fifth wave here. So maybe the 2783, 2785 area through here. Then we'll see a pullback here. The pullback will be the pretty much the standard 38.2%, 40% retracement level, so I'll take it from there. So that can pull back to this area through here. Or technically it can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, which is in here as well, but it looks a bit far for a pullback within there. But once again, 8 is a profit taking number, so that 2780 there within group 2, we can expect that to play out as the resistance. We'll just bring that into there. 8 is a very important number. So, and then once we've got wave 4, then we'll look for wave 5 to move up closer to the 2800 area here. The Nasdaq as well here, it's got much the same sort of thing occurring as well. We can count this in different ways as well. So, but just to keep it really simple here, wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C here. And in fact, that wave 4 could sit under here as well for that A, B, C, or it could be here for a D and an E here. They both fit well. But either way, we've been tracking this five wave structure up here as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here, and then we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We've still got one more little push up here. While we're in the bigger picture here, we can either have it as wave B here, as an alternative count, and down for wave C in line with the S&P count here, so we need to be mindful of that. So that would be wave 3 here, an A wave here, an A and a B, and nope, that's not right. Right, okay, sorry, the A wave over here, then an A and a B and a C for the B wave here, and down for the C wave there. It's an alternative count. The other way here is that from wave 4 here, that we have wave 1 here, and we pull back for wave 2. At the 72 here, another really important number here for me. So we can expect, well, it's an old high, so we can, that will tell the story. I don't need to promote the number 72 any more than I have to here because of the double top, but also double tops are not the end of a trend either. So yeah, we're going to get some type of correction once we finish that little move up here. We'll just need to monitor it as such within all of that. I'm not sure what we've been looking at here. This will do. Okay. Yeah, so from this wave 4 here, we've been looking up at wave 1 and 2, which is coming to 61.8%. That's all good. And then we've been counting all the way up here. That's all good. I haven't updated this here, so I'll just do that on the hop here. I'm in Australia, and today's a holiday here, so I won't be doing the Australian video today. But that can pull back into here for wave 4 here. And once again, we're looking for, delete that, we're looking for a move higher in this area here. As I've obviously mentioned before here, at the 7100 area here, if that became the retested resistance, and it's still the same as well, if this only moved back up to the 61.8% mark here, and then fell back down through here, then any move under the 7100 here is a retested resistance. Here it came through here. It's worth noting that it came through here and then it retested, but it didn't fail the retest, did it? It continued up. But if it had failed it, then you would have been short from this point. That picture there would have helped you short. It's simple but effective. So in this case here, we will be looking for this market to make a new high above wave 3 here. I also want to look at Amazon because we've been tracking that a little bit as well. Just give me a second in here. So just on the hourly chart here, as I mentioned before, I'm not sure about this count. It's a bit wild. It's just a 1 hour chart here, but from around the 1300 area here, it can be up there. So from here, I was looking at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3, and across here for 4, and then counting this up here for wave 5 of wave 3 here. So last time we spoke, we were looking for a retracement to the 38.2%, and then we'll be looking for a move up. So this will be the same as the NASDAQ as well, but in this case here, we're looking for a wave 4 here, and then a wave 5 to move to the upside. As I would have mentioned before as well, is that our target area up here is between 720 and 730 there. They're just a nice place to think about taking profit at that particular point. We can always move back in, but we know that the S&P and the NASDAQ can be completing here as well. So it would be a good idea to look at that. So on the tick chart here, I think we're also looking at that here. So so just moving up into this trend here without going into a lot of detail, but wave 1 and 2 here, all of the third wave I was looking for here, and then the fourth wave pulling back here. Now I had, this is a possible A, B, and C here for wave 4, but that was incorrect, but we did pull back to the 38.2% retracement level here, so I'll take that off here. We don't really want the market going down any further than that. If it pulls back lower than this here, then it's going to pull back to this medium level here, okay? So just be very mindful of that. So what we can do here is just put a line in the sand at this particular point in time, and I'll put that as green because we want to be trading down to the 1650 at that point, which is a medium level and carries a lot of weight at that particular time. This particular structure that's moving up here doesn't count very well. In fact, it counts quite corrective in its nature. So in fact, any move below this little first move here would also, because that's 5 waves here, so any move below that would pretty much cancel out that support sitting here, and we would move down from that area there. But as it stands at the moment, we can look at this count here as an A wave here, and then a B wave here, and then 5 waves down for the C wave, which would be 1 and 2 and 3 here, A, B, C for 4, and down for 5 here. So at this stage, it does count as a corrective move down, but a move down here further, coming back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here, would make this 5 waves down. So 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, back for the fourth, and down for the fifth. Now, if we got that pattern there, then that means that we would have to draw over this side. So 5 waves down to here, down to the 1650 would give us 3 waves back up, and then it will give us another 5 waves down. Okay, so it does change the dynamics of things a lot, so just be mindful, and that little price point there would be a catalyst for that to occur. So we really want to see that just push straight up from here. Okay, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated.